So the Jeff Keighley Doritos and Mountain Dew Spectacular, more commonly known as the yearly Game Awards, are nearly upon us once again. Like most people, I enjoy the event, not really because of the awards themselves, which often feel like they're just picked at random, but I do enjoy it as a night to celebrate games and the gaming industry, and of course the primary reason to watch it, those sweet, sweet game reveals. And this year, it's the potential for another Breath of the Wild 2 trailer that has people really excited. And that excitement is precisely what I'm making this video about, because I think some of the excitement can turn toxic rather quickly, and people might be setting themselves up for disappointment. I want to be clear right off the bat that I do think it's more likely than not that we will be getting some Breath of the Wild 2 news at the Game Awards. We were told to expect more news before the year was up, and the Game Awards is a prime place for that to happen. Unless Nintendo plans on shadow dropping a late December Direct, which at this point is impossible to rule out because Nintendo is unpredictable these days, the Game Awards would be the prime venue for showcasing more Breath of the Wild 2. And we know that Nintendo is rather fond of the Game Awards. So it seems very likely that if we are going to get Breath of the Wild 2 news in December, it'll be at the Game Awards. So we agree there. What we don't agree on is that it's a virtual guarantee that we'll get news at the Game Awards, and it's in that distinction where I feel the problem lies. A lot of people have a tendency to get really worked up over rumors and then become bitterly disappointed or even angry when those rumors turn out to just be rumors. And this certainly is not a Zelda specific thing. I see it in the majority of communities I'm a part of, but it's extremely prevalent in the Zelda community. It hasn't just been once where people hyped themselves up for a Breath of the Wild 2 trailer only to leave disappointed. It's been multiple times. The two most distinct to me are last year's Game Awards and the February Direct after the long hiatus. For the Game Awards last year, the conversation around it was pretty identical to what we're seeing for this year's awards. It's been a while since we saw news, Nintendo loves the Game Awards, world premiere doesn't have to mean something new. All the discourse you're seeing about this year's Game Awards was present for last year's as well. The only real difference was that this year, Jeff Keighley mentioned 2.5 years, which is a significant number for Breath of the Wild 2. But other than that, the discourse was identical. People weren't just hoping for a Game Awards Breath of the Wild trailer, but they had made themselves 100% certain that it was going to happen. And when we inevitably did not get a trailer, all hell broke loose. Oh, that's a bit of an exaggeration obviously, but there really were a lot of people who were upset, disappointed, and even angry. And it's exactly that upset, angry reaction that I want to talk about. I think it's fine to be disappointed that a rumor turned out to be false. That's happened to me plenty of times. After all, when we hear cool things that we want to happen, it's difficult not to be a little disappointed, even if the logical part of your brain knew that it wasn't likely. It is specifically the people who are upset and angry that we didn't get a trailer that this video is targeting. Do you guys not realize how unreasonable it is for you to be angry with Nintendo for not showing a trailer that they never said they would show? Look, I'm firmly in the camp of not unnecessarily siding with companies over people. I have made many videos on my channel criticizing Nintendo for things like amiibo practices and remaster prices. I've even made a video defending people's right to dislike a Nintendo Direct, which I suppose is not aged the best at this point. I am a big fan of Nintendo's games, but I'm not blindly loyal to Nintendo in any fashion. But even I will say, what are you doing? Why are you getting mad at Nintendo for something they never promised? It's not Nintendo's fault that you saw some guy on the internet tell you that a Game Awards trailer was definitely happening and you chose to believe them. That's on you. And that exact same thing happened with the first February Direct after the pandemic hiatus. People's expectation for that Direct were not just through the roof, but on the moon. So there was never any chance it was going to deliver. For what it's worth, I thought it was a great Direct, but there was no Breath of the Wild 2 and no Zelda Anniversary news outside of Skyward Sword. And Nintendo never said there would be. People were once again just believing people on the internet. And I want to take a second to criticize my own community here. Zelda tubers and Nintendo tubers were very much part of the problem when it came with people's disappointment with that Direct. Quite a lot of my peers were making videos talking about how they were 100% certain that we'd be getting these massive anniversary announcements and a Breath of the Wild 2 trailer. I would really love to know why they believed it with such certainty, but that's neither here nor there. While YouTubers and the media definitely are to blame for raising expectations in these scenarios, the consumers have a role too. I want to reiterate that it is fine to have been disappointed that there wasn't a big anniversary or Breath of the Wild announcement. And like I said in the video I referenced earlier, if you wanted to showcase your disappointment by leaving a dislike on the direct, all the power to you. That's what the button's there for, or was there for. But it's not reasonable to get angry or depressed that Nintendo didn't deliver on something that they didn't promise. And that's why I'm worried about the fallout from the Game Awards this year. Again, I think we probably will get Breath of the Wild 2 news, but it isn't a guarantee. Yes, 2.5 years lines up pretty well with Breath of the Wild 2, and the use of the words world premiere don't negate the possibility of it being a Zelda announcement, but it also doesn't come close to guaranteeing that it will be Zelda. This world premiere could be anything. It could be a new Mass Effect game, or maybe a sneaky look at the new Elder Scrolls. There are a lot of games that were announced a while ago and might be far enough along to be ready for a world premiere trailer. It might even be another Nintendo announcement. What if Nintendo's looking to capitalize on the success of Metroid Dread by giving us our first proper trailer for Metroid Prime 4? Or maybe a big new Fire Emblem, it's been a while since the previous one. If neither of those series seem big enough to warrant hype by Keighley, what about a new Mario game? The follow-up to Mario Odyssey, that would be huge. There are a million things it could be besides Breath of the Wild 2, and I do not understand how people can be so 100% sure that it will be Breath of the Wild 2. And that is really the crux of what I'm saying here. It's fine to be excited. This is not an anti-hype video. I think it's best to treat hype like a party favor. Engage in it responsibly and everything will be fine, but overuse it and you're just setting yourself up for pain. That's all I want to say in this video, guys. Just don't be setting yourselves up for pain. Be excited for Breath of the Wild 2, I know I am. Even if we don't get news at the Game Awards, we'll be sure to get it through some other means soon enough. But don't be banking on the announcement being true to the point where you're angry if it doesn't happen. Disappointed is fine, let down is fine, upset is even fine as long as it isn't directed outward. Anger is not okay. You can't be upset and angry with Nintendo for not fulfilling promises that they never made. Get mad at them for one of the 200 other lame things they do on a weekly basis. Thanks for watching, guys. I can't wait to watch these awards with you, and I do hope that we'll be giddy with excitement after seeing some concrete Breath of the Wild 2 information. And you know I'll be there making videos about it if it does happen, but just be careful about committing yourself to the idea that a trailer is guaranteed. And if you do, don't take out your disappointment on other people if it doesn't happen. If you liked this video and you'd like to show some support on my channel, please consider subscribing if you haven't, ring the bell, come follow me over on Twitter or join my Discord, or come join me on Patreon and take part in the Subrosian Parade. Links to all of that in the description. Stay safe out there, and while you navigate the internet, keep a lookout for angry posters disappointed by false rumors. Give them a wide berth, don't engage, because it's dangerous to go alone.